Your Honor, I just buried my father 3 days ago. The words hang in the air like smoke. Nobody moves. Nobody breathes. The young man standing at the defendant's table is shaking. His suit is wrinkled. His eyes are red and swollen. His hands grip the wooden table like it's the only thing keeping him standing. Judge Frank Caprio looks up from the papers in front of him. His reading glasses sit on the end of his nose. He's been a judge for over 30 years. He's seen everything. Drug dealers, drunk drivers, people who hurt others, people who hurt themselves. But something about this moment feels different. The courtroom is packed today. It's Providence Municipal Court on a Wednesday morning. The wooden benches are full. Some people are here for their own cases. Others just come to watch. Judge Caprio is famous. People travel from all over to see him work. They know he's tough but fair. They know he cares about people. They know he sees past the charges to the person underneath. The bailiff had called the case 5 minutes ago. Case number 2025, TR 94216. The State of Rhode Island versus Nathan Chen. Nathan Chen is 21 years old. He's a junior at Providence College. He studies engineering. He works part-time at a coffee shop near campus. He's never been in trouble before. Not once. Clean record. Good grades. The kind of kid who says please and thank you. The kind who calls his mom every Sunday. Called. Past tense. Nathan walks slowly to the front. Each step looks like it hurts. He's wearing a black suit that's too big for him. His shoulders are thin inside the jacket. His face is pale. Dark circles sit under his eyes like bruises. His hair hasn't been combed. A piece of paper shakes in his right hand. Mr. Chen, Judge Caprio says. His voice is gentle, softer than usual. Please state your full name for the record. Nathan James Chen, Your Honor. His voice cracks on the word honor. He clears his throat. Tries again. Sorry. Nathan James Chen. That's okay, son. Take your time. The judge sets his papers down. He removes his glasses. He gives Nathan his full attention. Do you understand the charges against you today? Nathan nods, then remembers he needs to speak. Yes, Your Honor. 3 parking tickets. 2 for expired meter. 1 for parking in a residential zone without a permit. Total of $450 in fines. A woman in the front row leans forward. She's wearing scrubs. A nurse on her lunch break. She comes to this court sometimes. It's better than daytime TV. But today something feels heavy in the room. Something sad. Judge Caprio looks at his computer screen. He scrolls through information. I see these tickets were issued over a 3-week period. October 15th, October 22nd, and November 3rd. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. And you're here today because you missed your payment deadline. Nathan's jaw tightens. He bites his lip. His eyes get wet. Your Honor, I can explain. I know I should have paid. I know I should have been more careful. But my father, he was sick. He had cancer. Stage 4. I was driving back and forth to the hospital every day. Sometimes twice a day. Between classes. After work. Whenever I could. The courtroom gets quieter. People stop shifting in their seats. The woman in scrubs puts her hand over her mouth. Judge Caprio leans forward. I'm very sorry to hear that, Mr. Chen. How is your father doing now? That's when Nathan's face crumbles. That's when the tears start. That's when he says it. Your Honor, I just buried my father 3 days ago. The words hit like a physical thing. Like a wave. Like a punch. Someone in the back row gasps. An older man with gray hair shakes his head slowly. The court clerk, a woman named Maria, who's worked here for 15 years, reaches for a tissue box on her desk. Nathan's shoulders shake. He tries to hold it together. Tries to be strong. But grief doesn't care about courtrooms. Grief doesn't care about judges or fines or parking tickets. Grief takes what it wants. The funeral was Monday, Nathan continues. His voice is barely a whisper now. I'm sorry I didn't call. I'm sorry I didn't reschedule. I didn't know what to do. My mom is a mess. My little sister is only 16. She doesn't understand why Dad isn't coming home. And I'm trying to hold everything together. I'm trying to be strong for them. But I can't. I can't do this. He's crying openly now. Tears run down his face. He doesn't wipe them away. The piece of paper in his hand falls to the floor. It's a funeral program. The bailiff sees it. Judge Caprio sees it. Everyone sees it. The front of the program shows a photo. A man in his 50s. Smiling. Wearing a suit. Proud. Below the photo are the dates. Born 1973. Died 2025. 52 years old. Too young. Way too young. Judge Caprio stands up. This almost never happens. Judges stay behind the bench. That's how it works. But Frank Caprio isn't like other judges. He steps down. He walks around the bench. His black robe flows behind him. The entire courtroom watches. He walks up to Nathan. He puts his hand on the young man's shoulder. Nathan, look at me. Nathan looks up. His face is wet. His eyes are red. He looks broken. Completely broken. How old was your father? Judge Caprio asks. 52, Your Honor. He just turned 52 in August. We threw him a party. His last birthday. We didn't know it would be his last birthday. What was his name? David. David Chen. He was a mechanic. Owned a small shop on Smith Street. Chen's Auto Repair. He worked 6 days a week. Came home smelling like oil and grease. But he never complained. Not once. He loved his work. He loved fixing things. Making things run better. Judge Caprio nods. He sounds like a good man. He was the best man. Nathan's voice breaks again. He taught me everything. How to change a tire. How to check oil. How to be honest. How to work hard. He came to America with nothing. Nothing. He was 19 years old. Didn't speak English. Slept on his cousin's couch. Worked 3 jobs. He built that shop from zero. From absolutely nothing. And he did it so my sister and I could have better lives. The woman in scrubs is crying now too. She's not alone. Half the courtroom has wet eyes. The bailiff, a tough guy named Officer Martinez who's worked security for 10 years, turns away and coughs. He's not coughing. When did you find out he was sick? Judge Caprio asks. His hand is still on Nathan's shoulder. Last spring. April. Right before finals. He'd been feeling tired. Losing weight. My mom made him go to the doctor. They found it in his pancreas. Pancreatic cancer. The doctor said it was aggressive. Said we should prepare ourselves. But how do you prepare? How do you get ready to lose your dad? Nathan pulls out a tissue from his pocket. It's already wet. He's been crying for days. For weeks. 4 months probably. These parking tickets, he continues, they happened because I was rushing. I was trying to get to the hospital before visiting hours ended. Trying to park fast so I could spend more time with him. The first ticket was the day he started chemotherapy. I parked at an expired meter outside Rhode Island Hospital. I only meant to stay an hour. I stayed 4. I held his hand while the medicine went into his veins. He was so scared. My dad was never scared of anything. But he was scared then. Judge Caprio listens. He doesn't interrupt. He just listens. This is what he does best. He sees the person. Not the case number. Not the fine amount. The actual human being. The second ticket was outside my apartment. I forgot to move my car for street cleaning. I forgot because I was up all night. My dad called at 2 in the morning. He couldn't breathe. We took him to the emergency room. I drove my mom and sister. We stayed until 6. I came home and fell asleep in my clothes. Slept through my alarm. Slept through street cleaning. Got a ticket. Nathan picks up the funeral program from the floor. He holds it like it's made of glass. Like it might break. Like it's the most precious thing in the world. The third ticket was the worst one. November 3rd. That was the day he went into hospice. The doctor said there was nothing more they could do. We needed to take him home. Make him comfortable. I parked in a residential zone near the hospice facility. I didn't have a permit. I didn't care. I needed to see him. I needed to tell him I loved him one more time. His voice gets very quiet. Everyone leans in to hear. He died 6 days later. November 9th. Saturday. 3:15 in the afternoon. We were all there. Me, my mom, my sister, my aunt. He waited until we were all in the room. Then he just stopped breathing. Just like that. The strongest man I ever knew. Gone. The courtroom is silent. Completely silent. No coughing. No rustling papers. No phones buzzing. Nothing. Just Nathan's story filling the space. Judge Caprio's eyes are wet too. He's not ashamed. He's presided over thousands of cases. He's heard every excuse. Every lie. Every story. But this isn't a story. This is a life. This is grief. This is real. Nathan, the judge says, "Where is your mother today? Is she here?" Nathan shakes his head. "No, Your Honor. She couldn't come. She can't really leave the house right now. She just sits in their bedroom. In the dark. looking at photos. I tried to get her to come out. To eat something. She won't. My sister has to go back to school tomorrow. She missed a whole week. I need to help her pack. Make sure she's okay. Make sure she doesn't fall apart like Mom. And you? Judge Caprio asks. Who's making sure you're okay? Nathan doesn't answer. He can't, because nobody is. He's 21 years old. He's supposed to be worried about exams and girls and what major to choose. Instead, he's planning funerals. He's holding his mother while she cries. He's explaining death to his little sister. He's paying bills he doesn't understand. He's standing in a courtroom trying to explain why he forgot about parking tickets while his father was dying. Do you have the money to pay these fines? Judge Caprio asks. His voice is gentle. Not judging, just asking. Nathan hesitates. I have some money. I've been saving. I work at a coffee shop. Harbor Grounds on Thayer Street. 20 hours a week. Minimum wage plus tips. But the funeral, it costs so much. My dad had some life insurance, but not enough. We had to use my college savings. I was supposed to graduate next year. Now I don't know. I might need to take a semester off. Work full-time. Help my mom with the bills. The shop is closed now. My dad was the only mechanic. Without him, there's no business. A man in the second row wipes his eyes. He's around the same age David Chen would have been. He thinks about his own kids. What would happen to them if he died tomorrow? Who would take care of them? Who would be strong? Your Honor, Nathan says. He's looking at the floor now. Can't meet the judge's eyes. I know I messed up. I know rules are rules. I know everyone has problems. I'm not asking for special treatment. I just need a little time. Maybe a payment plan? I can pay $50 a month. It'll take a while, but I'll pay every penny. I promise. Judge Caprio walks back to his bench, but he doesn't sit down. He stands there, thinking. The whole courtroom waits. Nobody knows what will happen next. Will he reduce the fine? Will he give Nathan more time? Will he lecture him about responsibility? Nathan Chen, Judge Caprio says. His voice is clear. Strong. Look at me. Nathan looks up. Your father raised a good son. Do you know how I know that? Nathan shakes his head. Because you're here. You could have ignored these tickets. You could have run away from this. You could have made excuses. But you showed up. You told the truth. You took responsibility. Even while you're drowning in grief. Even while your world is falling apart. That takes character. That takes strength. Your father taught you that. Nathan's chin trembles. Fresh tears come. Your father sounds like he was a remarkable man. He came to this country with nothing. He worked hard. He built a business. He raised a family. He taught his children what it means to be honorable, what it means to be honest, what it means to show up even when it's hard. Judge Caprio picks up his gavel. Everyone tenses. This is it. The decision. Mr. Chen, I'm looking at your record. 21 years old. Not a single violation. Not one. No speeding tickets. No accidents. No trouble. You're a good kid. A good student. A good son. And you're going through the hardest thing a young person can go through. You're losing your father. You lost your father. And I'm not going to make it harder. Nathan holds his breath. These tickets, all 3 of them, I'm dismissing them. All of them. You owe nothing. $0. 0 cents. Case dismissed. The gavel comes down. Bang. The courtroom erupts. People gasp. Someone starts clapping. Then everyone is clapping. The woman in scrubs is crying and clapping at the same time. The old man in the back row nods his approval. Officer Martinez, the bailiff, has to turn around completely. His shoulders are shaking. Nathan doesn't move. He can't process it. Your Honor, I don't understand. You're dismissing them? All of them. All of them, Judge Caprio confirms. Nathan, your father just died. You buried him 3 days ago. 3 days. Most people can't even function after 3 days. But here you are. You showed up to court. You told your story. You were willing to pay. That tells me everything I need to know about the kind of person you are. Judge Caprio comes back around the bench. He walks up to Nathan again. This time, he doesn't just put a hand on his shoulder. He opens his arms. He hugs him. Nathan breaks down completely. He sobs into the judge's robe. His whole body shakes. All the grief he's been holding in. All the strength he's been faking. All the tears he's been hiding. They all come out now. In this courtroom. In this moment. In the arms of a judge who understands that sometimes mercy matters more than rules. It's okay, Judge Caprio says quietly. Let it out. It's okay to cry. It's okay to not be okay. The bailiff has to look away completely. The court clerk is using tissues like tissues are about to be banned. Half the courtroom is crying. Strangers are crying for Nathan, for his father, for his family, for the unfairness of a good man dying too young. They stand there for a long moment, a judge and a grieving son, connected by humanity, by compassion, by the understanding that sometimes the greatest power a person has is the power to show mercy. When they finally separate, Judge Caprio keeps his hands on Nathan's shoulders. I want you to listen to me very carefully. Are you listening? Nathan nods. He's still crying, but he's listening. Your father is gone. Nothing can change that. Nothing can bring him back. And that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt for a long time. Months. Years. Maybe forever. But he's still with you. Do you understand? Everything he taught you. Everything he showed you. That's still here. Judge Caprio taps Nathan's chest. Right over his heart. He's in here. Forever. I miss him so much, Nathan whispers. I know you do. Missing him means you loved him. And loving him means he did his job. He was a good father. You're proof of that. Judge Caprio takes a deep breath. The whole courtroom is still watching. Still silent. Still hanging on every word. Your father worked 6 days a week so you could go to college. So you could have opportunities he didn't have. Right. Yes, Your Honor. Then honor him. Honor his memory. Finish school. Get your degree. Make him proud. He's watching you, Nathan. From wherever he is, he's watching. And he wants to see you succeed. He wants to see you graduate. He wants to see you become the man he raised you to be. Nathan wipes his face with both hands. I'll try, Your Honor. I promise I'll try. You'll do more than try. You'll do it. And Nathan. Yes, Your Honor. When things get hard, and they will get hard, I want you to remember this moment. I want you to remember that people care. That strangers care. That the world isn't as cold as it sometimes seems. There's still good here. There's still compassion. There's still mercy. Judge Caprio reaches into his pocket. He pulls out his wallet. He takes out a business card. On the back, he writes something. His personal phone number. If you need anything, and I mean anything, you call me. If school gets too hard. If the bills are too much. If you just need someone to talk to. You call me. Understand? Nathan takes the card with shaking hands. He stares at it like he's never seen anything like it. Your Honor, I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. Just take care of yourself. Take care of your mother. Take care of your sister. That's what your father would want. That's how you honor him. Nathan nods. He's still crying, but different now. Not just grief. Something else too. Relief maybe. Or gratitude. Or the feeling of being seen. Really seen. By someone who matters. Thank you, Nathan says. Thank you so much. I'll never forget this. Never. I know you won't. Now go home. Be with your family. Grieve. Heal. Live. And Nathan. Yes, Your Honor. Your father would be so proud of you right now. So very proud. That does it. Nathan starts crying all over again. But Judge Caprio is smiling. A sad smile. But a smile. Because sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is show them they're not alone. Show them that someone sees their pain. Someone acknowledges their struggle. Someone cares. Nathan walks out of the courtroom in a daze. People pat his back as he passes. The woman in scrubs squeezes his hand. The old man gives him a nod that says, "Stay strong, kid." Officer Martinez holds the door open for him. Your dad raised you right, he says quietly. When Nathan is gone, the courtroom stays quiet for a moment. Then someone starts clapping again. Then everyone is clapping. Applauding Judge Caprio. Applauding the decision. Applauding mercy. Applauding humanity. Judge Caprio waves his hand. Okay. We have more cases. Let's continue. But everyone knows what just happened. Everyone knows they witnessed something special. Something rare. In a world that often feels cold and hard and unfair, they saw warmth. They saw compassion. They saw a judge who remembered that behind every case number is a real person with a real story with real pain. Maria, the court clerk, leans over to the bailiff. 30 years I've worked here. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Officer Martinez just nods. He doesn't trust his voice yet. The next case is called. Life goes on. The court system keeps moving. But everyone in that room will remember Nathan Chen. They'll remember his father. They'll remember the judge who chose mercy over rules, who chose humanity over policy, who chose to see the person instead of just the charge. If you believe in second chances, you'll want to hear what happens next. 2 months pass. It's January now. Cold in Rhode Island. Snow on the ground. The courthouse is busy like always. People coming and going. Cases being heard. Fines being paid. Life happening. Nathan Chen walks through the front doors. He's wearing a winter coat. A backpack over his shoulder. He looks different than he did 2 months ago. Still sad. That doesn't go away. But something else too. Something like strength. Like purpose. He asks the security guard where Judge Caprio's chambers are. The guard, an older man named Frank, recognizes him. You're the kid. The one with the dad. I heard about your case. Hell, everyone heard about your case. The video went viral. Over 10 million views on YouTube. Nathan didn't know that. He's been too busy surviving to check social media. Too busy taking care of his mom. Too busy helping his sister with homework. Too busy working double shifts at the coffee shop. Too busy trying to figure out how to live in a world where his father doesn't exist. Judge Caprio is probably in his chambers, Frank says. 3rd floor. Office 312. Tell him Frank sent you. Nathan takes the elevator. His heart is pounding. He doesn't know if this is weird. If he should be here. If judges even want to see people after cases are over. But Judge Caprio gave him that card. Told him to call if he needed anything. And Nathan needs to say something. Needs to do something. He knocks on the door. Office 312. Come in, a voice calls. Nathan opens the door. Judge Caprio is sitting at his desk. He's not wearing his robe. Just a regular suit. He looks up and his face changes. Recognition. Then warmth. Nathan Chen, he says, standing. How are you, son? I'm okay, Your Honor. I mean, I'm surviving. That's probably more accurate. Surviving is enough sometimes. Sit down, please. Nathan sits in the chair across from the desk. It's a small office. Comfortable. Pictures on the walls. Family photos. Awards. Certificates. A life spent serving others. I wanted to thank you, Nathan says, for what you did. For the tickets. But more than that. For seeing me. For hearing me. For treating me like a person instead of just a case number. You're welcome, Judge Caprio says simply. How's your mother? She's getting better. Slowly. She started going to a grief support group at the hospital. She still has really bad days. Days where she doesn't get out of bed. But she has some good days too now. Days where she smiles. Where she cooks dinner. Where she talks about dad without crying. And your sister? She's back in school. Junior year. She's struggling. Her grades dropped. She's seeing a counselor. But she's trying. We're all trying. And you? Are you back in school? Nathan nods. That's actually why I'm here. I wanted to show you something. He reaches into his backpack. He pulls out a transcript. His fall semester grades. He hands it to Judge Caprio. The judge puts on his reading glasses. He looks at the paper. His eyebrows go up. Engineering mathematics, a physics 301, a thermodynamics, A, engineering design, a technical writing, B+. Nathan, Judge Caprio says slowly, you got straight A's. While your father was dying. While planning a funeral. While taking care of your family. How? Nathan shrugs. You told me to honor him. To finish school. To make him proud. So that's what I'm doing. Every time I wanted to quit, I thought about Dad. About how hard he worked. About how much he sacrificed. And I kept going. Judge Caprio stands. He walks around the desk. He hugs Nathan again. Your father is so proud of you. I promise you, wherever he is, he's beaming. I hope so, Nathan says quietly. I know so. What's your plan now? You said you graduate next year. Yeah. May 2026. I'm applying for internships this summer. There's one at General Electric. Another at Raytheon. I probably won't get them. My GPA isn't perfect. I had a rough semester. But I'm trying. You'll get them, Judge Caprio says with certainty. And if you don't, you call me. I know people. I'll make sure someone gives you a chance. Nathan looks at him. Really looks at him. Why are you helping me? You don't even know me. Judge Caprio sits on the edge of his desk. Nathan, I've been a judge for over 30 years. I've seen thousands of people come through my courtroom. Most of them are there because they made bad choices. Because they hurt someone. because they're running from something. But every once in a while, I see someone like you. Someone who's just trying their best. Someone who got knocked down by life, but keeps getting back up. Those are the people worth helping. Those are the people who give me hope." He pauses, looks at the pictures on his wall. His own family. His own children. I have kids too. 3 of them. I look at you, and I think, what if that was my son? What if my kids lost me? Would someone help them? Would someone show them mercy? I help you because I hope someone would help them. Nathan's eyes get wet again. He's cried more in the past 3 months than in his entire life. But these are different tears. Not grief. Gratitude. "There's something else," Nathan says. "I wanted to ask you something. I hope it's not weird." "Ask me anything." "The coffee shop where I work, Harbor Grounds, we're doing a community event next month. Raising money for cancer research. In my dad's name. I was wondering if maybe you'd come? Say a few words. You don't have to. I know you're busy. But it would mean a lot. To me. To my family." Judge Caprio doesn't hesitate. "I'd be honored. Just tell me when and where." Nathan smiles. His first real smile in months. "Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for everything. Call me Frank. When you're not in my courtroom, call me Frank." "Thank you, Frank." They talk for another 20 minutes. About school. About work. About life. Judge Caprio tells stories about his own father. An Italian immigrant who worked in construction. Who came to America with nothing. Who built a life through hard work and determination. Nathan realizes their fathers weren't so different. Different countries. Different generations. Same values. Same love for their families. Same willingness to sacrifice everything so their children could have better lives. When Nathan finally leaves, Judge Caprio watches him go. Watches him walk down the hallway with his backpack and his winter coat and his weight of grief that he carries everywhere. But he's walking straight. Head up. Moving forward. That's what resilience looks like. That's what strength looks like. Not never falling down, but getting back up. Again and again and again. Judge Caprio returns to his desk. He has more cases to review. More decisions to make. More lives to affect. But he takes a moment. Just a moment. To think about David Chen. A mechanic he never met. A father who raised an extraordinary son. A man who died too young, but left behind something that will never die. Love. Values. Character. That's the legacy that matters. Not money. Not possessions. Not status. The kind of person your children become. The values they carry. The way they treat others. The strength they show when life gets hard. David Chen's legacy is alive and well. It's walking through Providence in a winter coat and a backpack. It's studying engineering. It's taking care of family. It's showing up to court even when everything hurts. It's saying thank you to a judge who showed mercy. The community event happens on February 14th. Valentine's Day. But it's not about romance. It's about love. A different kind of love. The love of a community coming together. The love of strangers helping strangers. Harbor Grounds coffee shop is packed. People standing outside in the cold. The event is raising money for the American Cancer Society. All proceeds go to pancreatic cancer research. The disease that took David Chen. The disease that takes too many good people too soon. Nathan is behind the counter. Making coffee. Taking orders. Smiling. Talking to customers. His mother is there too. Linda Chen. Small woman. Dark hair streaked with gray that wasn't there 6 months ago. She's at a table with photo albums. Pictures of David. Their wedding. The kids as babies. Family vacations. Christmas mornings. Regular life. Beautiful regular life. People come up to look at the photos. They don't know David Chen. Never met him. But they see these pictures and they understand. They see a good man. A loving husband. A devoted father. They see themselves. Their own families. Their own fears of loss. An old woman with white hair stops at the table. She touches a photo of David holding baby Nathan. He looks like he was a wonderful father, she says. Linda nods. Her eyes are wet, but she's not crying. He was the best. The absolute best. I lost my husband to cancer too, the old woman says. Lung cancer. 15 years ago. I still miss him every single day. Does it get easier? Linda asks. The old woman considers this. It gets different. The sharp pain becomes a dull ache. You learn to live around it. Like a stone in your shoe. Always there. But you adjust your walk. They hold hands for a moment. 2 widows. Two women who understand a loss that can't be explained to anyone who hasn't felt it. Judge Caprio arrives at 6 p.m. He's not in his robe, just regular clothes. But people recognize him anyway. Word spreads through the coffee shop. That's Judge Caprio, the one from the video, the one who helped Nathan, the one who hugged him in court. People come up to shake his hand, to thank him, to tell him he restored their faith in the justice system, in humanity. He's gracious, humble. I just did what anyone should do, he keeps saying. But that's not true. Most people wouldn't do what he did. Most judges wouldn't step down from a bench, wouldn't hug a defendant, wouldn't give out their personal phone number, wouldn't show up to a coffee shop fundraiser on Valentine's Day evening. Nathan sees him and rushes over. Frank, you came. I said I would. I always keep my promises. Come meet my mom. And my sister. Judge Caprio meets Linda Chen. She hugs him immediately, holds on tight. Thank you, she whispers. Thank you for helping my son, for helping our family. David would be so grateful. Your husband raised a remarkable young man, Judge Caprio says. You both did. David did most of it, Linda admits. He was the strong one. I don't know how to be strong without him. You're already being strong. You're here. You're standing. You're moving forward. That's strength. Nathan's sister Emily is there too. 16 years old. Quiet. Shy. She has David's eyes. Judge Caprio shakes her hand gently. How are you doing, Emily? She shrugs. I'm okay. I miss my dad. Of course you do. You'll miss him forever. But he's still with you. In your memories. In your heart. In the way you live your life. At 7 o'clock, Nathan asks everyone to gather. The coffee shop is standing room only. At least 80 people squeezed into a space meant for 40. Nobody complains. They're here for a reason. Here to support. Here to remember. Here to help. Nathan stands on a chair so everyone can see him. His voice shakes at first, then gets stronger. Thank you all for coming. 3 months ago, I lost my dad, David Chen. He was 52 years old. He was a mechanic. He was my hero. He taught me how to change a tire, how to check oil, how to work hard, how to be honest, how to love my family more than anything. People listen. Really listen. When he died, I didn't think I could survive it. The pain was too big. Too heavy. I thought I would drown in it. And then something happened. I went to court for some parking tickets. Stupid parking tickets that didn't matter. And I met Judge Frank Caprio. Everyone looks at the judge. He's standing in the back, trying not to take attention away from Nathan. Judge Caprio could have made me pay those fines. I broke the rules. I deserved the punishment. But he didn't. He looked at me, and he saw a person. A son who just lost his father. A kid who was drowning. And he threw me a lifeline. He dismissed the tickets. He hugged me. He gave me his phone number. He told me I wasn't alone. Nathan's voice breaks. He takes a breath. Continues. That moment changed my life. It reminded me that people are good. That strangers can care about each other. That mercy matters. That compassion matters. That we're all in this together. The crowd is silent, hanging on every word. My dad believed in helping people. He never turned away someone who needed their car fixed but couldn't pay. He just said, pay me when you can. Or don't pay me at all. Just take care of your family. That's who he was. That's the legacy he left. Nathan wipes his eyes. Emily is crying. Linda is crying. Half the coffee shop is crying. So tonight, we're raising money for pancreatic cancer research. So other families don't have to lose their dads at 52. So other kids don't have to stand in courtrooms crying about parking tickets. So other moms don't have to sit in dark bedrooms looking at photos. This is how we fight back. This is how we honor him. Applause fills the coffee shop, loud and long. Nathan steps down from a chair. Judge Caprio walks up to him. Your father would be so proud. I wish I could have met him. He would have liked you, Nathan says. You remind me of him. The way you care about people. The way you see the good in everyone. Judge Caprio takes the chair. He says a few words. About Nathan. About David. About the importance of community. About mercy and justice and remembering that we're all human. We all struggle. We all need help sometimes. And the greatest thing we can do is help each other. By the end of the night, the fundraiser has raised over $15,000. Way more than anyone expected. People give $20, $50, $100. One man writes a check for $2,000. He doesn't explain why. Just hands it to Nathan and walks away. That man lost his own father to cancer 10 years ago. He knows the pain. He wants to do something, anything, to fight back against the disease that steals fathers and mothers and children. That breaks families. That leaves holes that never fully close. When the coffee shop finally closes, Nathan and his family and Judge Caprio stand outside in the cold. Their breath makes clouds in the February air. David is smiling right now, Judge Caprio says. I can feel it. Linda nods. I can feel it too. For the first time since he died, I feel like maybe we're going to be okay. It'll take time. It'll be hard, but we're going to make it. You are, Judge Caprio confirms. Because you have each other. Because you remember him. Because you're living the values he taught you. Emily, quiet all night, finally speaks. Do you think Dad knows that we did this for him? Judge Caprio kneels down to her level. Emily, your dad knows everything. He's watching over you every single day. And tonight, he's watching you honor his memory. He's watching you help other people. He's watching you be strong and brave and kind. Of course he knows. And he's so proud he could burst. Emily smiles. A small, sad smile. But a smile. I hope so. I know so. They all hug. Nathan and Emily and Linda and Judge Caprio. For people who were strangers 3 months ago. Now connected by tragedy and kindness and the understanding that life is fragile and precious and unfair, but also beautiful in unexpected ways. March comes. Then April. Nathan continues school. His grades stay strong. He gets accepted for the summer internship at General Electric. $40 an hour. Doing real engineering work. Building his resume. Building his future. Linda goes back to work. She's a dental hygienist. She was out for 3 months. Her boss held her job. Told her to take all the time she needed. Good people exist. In coffee shops. In courtrooms. In dental offices. Everywhere. Emily's grades improve. She joins the school newspaper. Writes an article about her father. About grief. About learning to live with loss. It wins an award. Gets published in a local magazine. People read it and cry. People read it and feel less alone in their own grief. The coffee shop becomes a regular gathering place for people who've lost loved ones. Every second Tuesday. Grief support group. Free coffee. Safe space. Nathan works those nights. Makes drinks. Listens to stories. Shares his own. The group grows. 10 people. 20. 30. Loss is universal. Everyone knows it. Everyone needs help carrying it. Judge Caprio continues his work. More cases. More people. More decisions. But Nathan's case stays with him. Reminds him why he does this job. Why he shows up every day. Why he cares. Because every case is a person. Every file is a life. Every decision matters. People ask him about the viral video. About the kid who lost his dad. How is he doing? They want to know. He's doing great, Judge Caprio tells them. He's surviving. He's thriving. He's honoring his father's memory by being a good person. By working hard. By helping others. That's the best tribute anyone can give. 1 year passes. It's November again. The anniversary of David Chen's death. November 9th. The family goes to the cemetery. They bring flowers. Yellow chrysanthemums. David's favorite. They sit by his grave for an hour. Talking to him. Telling him about their year. About Nathan's internship. About Emily's article. About Linda's strength. About the coffee shop fundraiser that's now an annual event. About the lives touched. The money raised. The difference made. We miss you, Dad, Nathan says out loud. His hand resting on the cold headstone. Every single day we miss you. But we're okay. We're making it. Just like you'd want us to. We're living. We're helping people. We're being the kind of people you taught us to be. The wind blows through the cemetery. Rustling the leaves. Moving the flowers. It feels like an answer. Like David heard. Like he's saying, I know. I see you. I'm proud. Keep going. And they do. They keep going. Because that's what survivors do. That's what love demands. That's what honors those who are gone. Not by stopping. Not by giving up. But by living. By being kind. By helping others. By remembering that we're all in this together. That mercy matters. That compassion changes lives. That a judge who steps down from his bench to hug a grieving son can restore faith in humanity. This is the story of Nathan Chen and David Chen. and Judge Frank Caprio, and a moment in a Providence courtroom that reminded everyone watching that justice isn't just about rules and fines and punishments. It's about people. Real people with real pain and real struggles and real hearts that break and somehow find ways to heal. This is the story of how $450 in parking tickets became something much bigger. A lesson about mercy, about second chances, about seeing each other, really seeing each other, not as case numbers or statistics or problems to solve, but as human beings doing our best in a world that's often too hard, too unfair, too painful. This is the story that tells us to be kind, to show up, to help when we can, to remember that everyone we meet is fighting a battle we know nothing about. And sometimes the smallest act of mercy, the briefest moment of compassion, can change everything. David Chen worked 6 days a week in a mechanic shop on Smith Street. He got his hands dirty. He fixed things that were broken. He never imagined that his death would lead to a viral video watched by millions, would lead to fundraisers and support groups and strangers crying in coffee shops, would lead to a judge and a student becoming friends, would lead to this story. But that's how life works. We don't know how our actions ripple out. We don't see all the ways we touch others. We just do our best. We love our families. We work hard. We try to be good. And somehow, in ways we never expect, that's enough. That matters. That changes the world. Nathan Chen graduates in May 2026. Top of his engineering class. Full scholarship to MIT for graduate school. His mother and sister are there, crying, cheering, so proud. Judge Frank Caprio is there too, in the audience, clapping louder than anyone. After the ceremony, they take photos. Nathan in his cap and gown, holding his diploma, smiling wide. He holds up a small photo. David Chen, in the picture with them. In spirit. Always. "We did it, Dad," Nathan whispers. "I finished. Just like you wanted. Just like I promised." The photo doesn't answer, but Nathan feels it anyway. The pride, the love, the presence of a father who's gone but never really gone, who lives in every choice, every achievement, every moment of kindness, every time Nathan helps someone else, every time he shows mercy, every time he remembers that we're all human. We all struggle. We all need each other. That's the lesson. That's the point. That's why this story matters. Not because a judge dismissed parking tickets, but because a judge saw a person, because he chose humanity over policy, because he remembered that rules serve people, not the other way around, because he understood that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply care. Judge Frank Caprio will retire someday. He'll hang up his robe, close his last file, walk out of the courthouse for the final time. But his legacy will continue. In every life he touched, in every person he helped, in every moment of mercy he showed, in every hug he gave, in every tear he shed with those who were suffering. And Nathan Chen will become an engineer. He'll design buildings or bridges or machines. He'll have a career, a family, a life. But he'll never forget. He'll never forget the day he stood in a courtroom, drowning in grief, and a stranger threw him a lifeline. He'll never forget that mercy saved him. That compassion reminded him he wasn't alone. That human kindness, simple and pure, can be the difference between giving up and keeping going. This is the power we all have. To see each other. To help each other. To choose kindness when we could choose coldness. To choose mercy when we could choose punishment. To choose humanity when we could choose rules. We all face loss. We all face pain. We all face moments when life knocks us down and we don't think we can get back up. And in those moments, we need each other. We need judges who hug us. We need strangers who care. We need communities that gather in coffee shops and raise money and say, "You're not alone. We're here. We see you. We'll help." That's the story of Nathan Chen and his father and the judge who changed everything. That's the story that went viral. That's the story that made millions of people cry and share and comment and say, "This is what justice should look like. This is what humanity should look like. This is what we should be." And they're right. This is what we should be. All of us. Every single day. In big ways and small ways. In courtrooms and coffee shops. At work and at home. With strangers and with family. We should be people who see each other. Who help each other. Who remember that behind every face is a story. Behind every mistake is a person. Behind every case number is a human being who deserves dignity and mercy and compassion. Money can buy many things, but it cannot buy back time. It cannot undo death. It cannot heal grief. And in Judge Frank Caprio's Courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Because justice isn't about money or power or connections. Justice is about truth, about fairness, about treating people with humanity, about remembering that we all deserve mercy because we're all imperfect. We're all struggling. We're all just doing our best. Chen knew that. He lived that. He showed his son what it means to be a good man. And that son, standing in a courtroom with tears running down his face, showed the world what it means to be strong. To show up. To tell the truth. To accept help. To keep going. And the judge, stepping down from his bench, showed everyone watching what real power looks like. Not power over people, but power for people. The power to help. To heal. To make a difference. To change a life with one decision. One hug. One moment of pure, beautiful human compassion. This is the story. This is the lesson. This is what we need more of in the world. People like Nathan. Like David. Like Frank Caprio. People who care. People who try. People who remember that at the end of the day, we're all just human beings trying to survive this wild, painful, beautiful thing called life. And we do it better together. We do it better with mercy. We do it better with love.